Emily Richards is here with us because it's Galentine's. Happy Galentine's!
Happy Galentine's Day, Leanne.
And we're taking it up a notch. We're doing a Taylor Swift-inspired Galentine's Day.
We are, totally.
And I love that. We've got our merch on, so we're nice and comfy in our cozies. And this is a Galentine's Day that all the gals can celebrate with at home.
Definitely. Put some Taylor on, relax, get in the kitchen, and we're gonna bake because baking is so, I think, relaxing and fun, and the aromas, it just kind of relaxes everybody. And, you know, depends on what area you're gonna be listening to, but you can totally relax.
Yeah, and you know, I love to bake too, and we've got a little bit of Taylor's version of baking.
Yes, we definitely do. We are doing a cinnamon roll with a chai frosting.
Yum.
And the cinnamon roll has a little twist as well because in honor of you and, you know, your East Coast lovin', we are gonna put some potatoes in our dough, and that's gonna give us a really nice, tender, soft dough because cinnamon rolls, I think, are meant to be soft and squishy and delicious. So we're starting off with a little bit of yeast. I have some sugar in here and water. We want it to froth. This only takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And then this is where the mashed potatoes come in. So I have a little sugar in here too, and these are not garlic mashed potatoes.
I was gonna say, we're using mashed potatoes, but hopefully they're just butter and sweetness.
They are just plain and simple, and then of course we are gonna add some of that delicious butter and eggs, and I'm just gonna whisk this up, and this is basically our liquid ingredients. So we wanna get our liquid ready, and then we're gonna add our flour. I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt because we want this to taste good. And what I love about this is that there's not a ton of sweetness coming from the dough because we're gonna put the sweetness inside those cinnamon rolls, So to that, our flour goes in. So this is about 3 cups of flour. You're gonna hold back a little bit of the flour because you're gonna knead the dough. And I think this is where the relaxing part comes in. I love kneading dough. It's just relaxing. I always have music on in the kitchen, and it's great to kind of sit back and just, you know, let your hands do the work. So you're gonna stir it, and then it takes about 5 minutes to knead it to a nice smooth dough. And then here's where it then has to sit for a couple of hours.
So you wanna keep going till it's fully mixed.
You're gonna keep going till it's fully mixed, and then you're going to let it rest for about an hour or so. Depends on how hot it is in the kitchen. If you're dancing up a storm, you might create a little bit more heat. And then it'll double in size. And then this is, I think, super fun. This is when we are going to roll out the dough, which I already have done for us. And this is approximately about 14 by 18 inches. Really, I think the bigger the better because then you get more rolls in your cinnamon buns. And then I have some nice soft butter here that I'm just gonna kind of spread with my hands. And you can take the time to kind of spread this out as even as you want. I like leaving little chunks because it's like little surprise drooly bits in the cinnamon roll.
Deliciousness.
And then I already have our butter, our brown sugar and our cinnamon, and I'm just gonna get you to put that right on top.
So this is just brown sugar and cinnamon.
Just brown sugar and cinnamon, exactly. And if you wanna kind of amp the chai flavor up a little bit, you can actually switch out some of the cinnamon for cardamom. And I love it because it has that nice little bit of spiciness to it. And it just, the aroma really, it's all about the smells. And I think, you know, when we're getting together with girlfriends or any, you know, friends at all, I think having those aromas in the kitchen, you know, you get everybody in there and it's just a good time. So then we're just gonna pat this all in.
You do the patting. I'll do the sprinkling.
You do the clean work, I'll do the dirty work. How's that?
You know, cinnamon rolls can be a little bit daunting to make sometimes, but you're right. You just have to go with the process and actually just enjoy the process of baking, getting together, having fun. It's like you're creating an art. And you know, they say love is patient.
It is, and you can kind of create art in different ways. So in this case, you can actually create the shape of a heart. You can, you know, just have them in a heart pan. You can do lots of different things, but it's really wonderful to kind of have the end result because you get to share these. So do you want to get that in? And we'll do this kind of together. And we're just going to roll this up so you can kind of feel how nice and soft that dough is. It's a little bit like a pillow, which is absolutely wonderful.
Soft. And fluffy. Oh, it smells so good.
And then we're going to just roll it back here like this because we want to pinch this together. Okay. And then this is where you cut your cinnamon rolls. So you can do 12, you can do 15, you can do 8 really, really big ones if you want. A serrated knife is the way to go, just like that. And then I usually like to break it up into bits so that you kind of do equal amounts.
Now, I've seen people use dental floss as well. Have you ever used that for cinnamon rolls?
You definitely can.
Okay. It's a little trick, a little hack.
It is. It's a great hack, and a lot of people say don't use mint.
Okay, don't use mint because then you get that minty flavor.
You get that minty flavor. And then you can use, you know, like I said, a heart pan. This is just some aluminum foil shaped in a heart, or you can actually just make kind of a little bit of a heart shape. These are cinnamon rolls because these need to rest for another hour to rise, and that's what they look like before they go into the oven.
Okay.
So 375, it usually takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and it will smell amazing.
It's already smelling really delicious in our kitchen
It really is.
Okay, quickly, while we kind of let that rest, if you're letting that rest at home, you're baking along with us, we're gonna do some chocolate covered strawberries really quick, and then we're gonna ice our
so super
buns.
easy, nice big strawberries. Make sure they're dry, that's really important. And I like using dark chocolate because it's a really nice contrast to the sweetness of the strawberries.
Love dark chocolate.
I love putting them on a little skewer so that you can actually get into the chocolate and kind of twist them around. And then as you lift them up, let that excess drip off. And then I have parchment paper on our baking sheet here. And then you can just use your finger to remove it from the skewer so you don't have any marks on your chocolate.
That's actually the best hack ever because I'm always rolling the strawberries or anything in chocolate.
But then you have to lick your fingers. That's the best part.
It turns out messy, you know? What can I say? Delicious, and of course this goes with our cinnamon buns.
So instead of a dozen roses, a dozen chocolate strawberries.
I'm not gonna say no. Okay, let's ice our cinnamon buns.
Yes.
Of course, tell us about this. This is the Taylor
This
Swift
is definitely the,
part.
yes, she inspired the chai frosting. So this is a cream cheese frosting with chai seasoning. So the spices that you'd find, cardamom, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of ginger and allspice, and of course some vanilla. So this is just to kind of bring out a little bit more cinnamon flavor. And I love cream cheese frosting on my cinnamon rolls. So, you know, if you do it warm, it'll melt all in.
Should I just go for it?
Yeah, go ahead. And then if you want a little bit more of a frosting, do it when they're cool so that you get all the frosting on your lips and you get to lick your fingers,
Delicious.
which is so yummy.
Well, I think we're gonna have to go dive on in, and this is the perfect Galentine's Day activity for you and your gals at home. It's a labor of love. What can I say?
It is, and it's a delicious one too.
It is. Happy Galentine's.
Happy Galentine's.